Hello, guys. Welcome to Homeschooling with Zena. I'm Randy. Hi, Zena. And yesterday we did the Battle of Thermopylae, right? And today we're doing the Golden Age of Athens, Pericles. Can you say that?
The Golden Age of
No.
Athens, Pericles.
Can you say the word Pericles?
Pericles.
Yeah, Pericles, right? So I'll go in as learning coach because K-12 is a really good program. I'm very happy with the results. If you want more information on this course, just go to www.k12.com. I am not being paid by them. They do not endorse me. I'm just doing this because I really love this program, and K-12 has helped my daughter tremendously. Okay, so the Golden Age of Athens. Do you know what the Golden Age means?
No.
The Golden Age means the best time.
Best time.
Yeah, the best time. So if I said the Golden Age of Pokemon, right?
The best time.
The best time of Pokemon was probably from 1996 until 2002. That was the best golden age of Pokemon. That's when everybody's talking about Pokemon. Everybody wants to buy Pokemon. We love Pokemon. That was the golden age of Pokemon. Now, if I say the golden age of Athens, this means when Athens was at the top, it was the best time in Athens. Okay? The best time for Greece. All right? All right. So, who do you think Pericles is? If we're saying it's the golden age of Athens, who do you think he is?
Maybe he's a man.
Of course he's a man, but who do you think he is? If it's the golden age, if it's the best time, what kind of people have the power to make a country good or bad?
The king.
Right, right? So it could be that Pericles is a very good king. I don't know either. I'm just guessing. Okay. So the map of the Persian Empire. Okay. Find Greece on the map of the Persian Empire. So where's Greece? Okay, very good. All right. Find Athens. Okay, very good. And who is the city of Athens named after?
Athena.
Good. And who is she the goddess of? She's the
goddess of wisdom.
Very good. She's also the goddess of war. Okay.
Yeah, she's very smart.
Ancient Athens was a democracy. What does democracy mean?
Democracy means they love to vote.
Mm-hmm. That means they vote by the people, right?
Yes.
The people
vote.
Run the country in order to make decisions.
And no kings.
The Greeks fought a famous battle against the Persians and then sent a runner to Athens to announce their victory. Today, athletes sometimes run a long race in memory of that battle and brave messenger. What was that battle?
The Battle of Persian.
No. What's the name of that city?
Oh, you mean
the Battle of... Okay.
That's kind of long.
The Battle of Marathon. Okay, remember that.
Marathon.
Yeah. Marathon is what? Is a race That's 26 miles. You running, right? Marathon is also a city in Greece.
Greece. Wow, Greece.
It was a famous battle, the Battle of Marathon, right? This battle was before the Battle of Thermopylae. That was the next battle. This was the
First battle.
yes, and the Persians lost because he was so angry, right? Who was angry?
The Persian king.
What's his name?
Darius.
Yeah, so he was very angry. So he sent his men to fight, right? The Athenians or the Greeks. Yeah?
Win.
And then the Greeks won, and then they sent a man to run to Athens to tell everyone, yes, the Greeks won. And then what happened to that man?
He died.
From what?
From keep running and no water.
Right. What was the name of the battle?
The name of the battle.
Mm-hmm. The Battle of Marathon. The Battle of Marathon. You definitely have to write this. The Battle of Marathon. We learned about another famous battle at a place called Thermopylae, where a small Greek army fought a much larger Persian army. What happened at Thermopylae?
Thermopylae. The Greek lost at first, but they give enough time for the Athenian navy to get their ship ready.
Very good. You're a genius. And I would just like to add that Xena, through this homeschooling method, 1 year ago, almost to the exact day, she could not speak English. She could only speak Chinese. So now, sometimes you find that her grammar is a little bit choppy. That's because last year she wasn't speaking English. She was speaking only Chinese. So through this program, she learned the English language. And it's been great. It's been a great experience. All right. So who won the war between the Persians and the Greeks?
Huh?
Who won the war between the
Greeks.
Persians? Okay, very good. Let's go to the next page. Okay. Can you read this first paragraph?
Athenians and Spartans
Celebrated.
when they won the long war against the Persians.
What does celebrated mean? What do you think that means?
You gotta celebrate something, means there's like a party or a special day.
Good. Okay, continue.
War against
But?
Persian. But when the Athenians went home, they faced a terrible sight. Athens, their shining city, had been destroyed by Persian troops.
The Persians had destroyed houses, schools, and shops. They had smashed statues and beautiful carvings. They had even climbed up the steep hill called the Acropolis. Acropolis. Can you say that?
Acropolis.
And demolished the sacred buildings there. The temple dedicated to the goddess Athena was now gone. Athens, the once marvelous city, was now a pile of rubble. The Athenians were stunned. What should we do? They wondered. What do you think the Athenians should do?
They fight back?
No. The building, everything is in a mess, right?
Yes.
Everything is destroyed. So what do you think that they should do?
They should build some new ones.
Okay, they should build new things. They should clean up, right?
Yes.
The answer came from a man named Pericles. Pericles was a leader of Athens who had been elected general many times. What is a general? What do you think that is?
It's like somebody that control the men that's fighting.
Good. That's the top leader. People listened when he stepped forward and said, "We must rebuild, and everyone will have to help." But the Persian Wars were expensive, the Athenians protested, and we don't have enough money to rebuild. Pericles knew it would be hard to rebuild Athens, but he was also a believer in what? But he was also a believer in
democracy.
Good. Pericles knew that in a
democracy
where the people rule, great things are possible. So this is Pericles.
Yes.
Okay, why don't you read the first paragraph?
Athens is a democracy, he said. All of us are responsible for keeping our democracy alive. Any man who cares only about themselves has no business in Athens.
The Athenians agreed. After all, they were proud of their city. They wanted visitors to see how a city could rule itself without a king. They wanted their city once again to be a place full of beautiful art and exciting ideas. They wanted Athens, as Pericles said, to be a school for all the world. Slowly, they rebuilt their houses, schools, and shops. Then, after 30 years, the city was finally ready to rebuild the jewel of Athens, Athena's sacred temple on the Acropolis, high above the city. Okay, so the Acropolis is like Athena's temple or something.
Yeah, like that.
Okay. Pericles chose two architects. Okay, so it says Pericles, leader of Athens, right? So Pericles chose two architects. What do you think an architect is?
It's like something about art.
Well, architect. An architect is a person who builds things. Okay? They build things. They design buildings. All right?
You mean like someone who builds things?
Mm-hmm.
Like builders?
Like when you play Super Mario Maker, you are the architect of the Super Mario Maker world.
You need to make?
Yeah,
Make anything you want?
Right, you design it yourself, right? Okay, so Pericles chose two architects and a sculptor to design the temples. It had to be the most beautiful, most perfect building in the world. He told them the architects and the sculptor put their heads together. They thought and talked. They drew and erased and drew some more. Soon they were ready to work on the greatest building ever constructed in Greece, the Parthenon. Hundreds of workers used ox-drawn carts to drag smooth white rocks called marble from a nearby mountain. For 15 years, a haze of dust filled the air as stone carvers hammered and chipped away at the huge marble blocks. The carvers built wide, smooth steps leading up to the Parthenon. And when they were finished, the temple rose 60 feet into the sky. It's very tall, right?
So tall.
Activity resources. What are keywords? Maybe you can. Okay, no keywords. The Parthenon was the goddess Athena's temple. On top of one side, sculptors carved a picture of Athena's birth. Another showed her contest with Poseidon. I think Athena came out of Zeus's head. You remember? That's how she was born. She came out of his head. I think, yeah. The sculptors also carved a long band of pictures showing a parade that celebrated Athena's feast day, and another band showing heroes from the Battle of Marathon. A long carved band of pictures that tell a story is called a frieze. So this is a frieze. Here, you see this? This is called a frieze. Yeah, it's a long carved band of pictures that tell a story. Okay? It's called a frieze. Remember, Frieza from Dragon Ball, right? Frieze. Greek sculptors were gifted at making their friezes and statues look real. Can you see muscles in the arm of the soldier and the expression on his face? Here's a sculpture of the goddess Athena. She's wearing a war helmet, and the folds of her dress look as if they're made from real cloth. Her face seems so lifelike that it's hard to believe she's made of stone. Yeah, so it's very good. The largest statue of Athena was carved from ivory and covered with gold. Do you know what ivory is? It's like the elephant? The elephant tusk are ivory. So in order to get ivory, maybe you have to kill an elephant. It's not a rock. It's something from
the elephant's tooth.
Yeah, the elephant's tusk. And some other animals like the bull's tusk or rhino horn or something like this can make ivory.
Like horn from animals.
Was carved from ivory and covered with gold. It was so big that the head alone was over 6 feet tall. The sculpture stood inside the Parthenon, facing the eastern door and a rising sun. At dawn, the sun's rays lit up the goddess's soft ivory face and gleaming golden dress. Glittering and majestic, the statue of Athena kept watch over her city below. Wow, look at this vase. Looks like Hercules. No one had ever seen anything like the Parthenon or the temples that surrounded it on the Acropolis. As the city grew, visitors came to see the beautiful buildings and art and to learn about democracy. Artists, writers, thinkers, traders, and students streamed into the city. Because Athens was a democracy, they knew it was a safe place to discuss new ideas. Athens also became known for writers who composed great plays that actors performed in outdoor theaters. Athenians made famous pottery too, and painted it with black and white scenes that tell us much about Greece during those years. Okay. A golden age. So this is the Acropolis today. Or Parthenon. This is what it is today. So this is maybe 2,000 years old. It's very old. New ideas, wonderful plays, great buildings like the Parthenon, beautiful sculptures and pottery. Best of all, a working democracy, right? Okay, you read the second one here.
There was so much going on the Athens during the time of
Pericles.
that we call this
Period.
the Golden Age of
Athens.
During the Golden Age,
Pericles.
and his
Fellow Athenians.
turned Athens from a
Ruin.
into one of the greatest cities of the world.
Good. As for the Parthenon, it was so well built that some parts of it still stand thousands of years later. If you visit Greece today, you can still see parts of this magnificent building. So this is the Parthenon. Can you imagine it 2,000 years ago? It must have been very, very beautiful. It must have been very, very beautiful, right? What was the name of the leader who helped rebuild Athens after the war with Persia? What was the name of the leader?
Pericles.
Good. What did Pericles believe in?
That their city is a democracy.
Not that. Not that. It's what? That you should rebuild.
The city.
Yeah. Rebuild the city.
Whoa.
Sorry, I had to scold my daughter. What did Pericles believe in?
Pericles believed in that their city should be rebuilt.
Okay, just very easy, right? During the Golden Age of Athens, the Athenians built a great new temple in their city. What was its name? Okay, that one is pretty hard. It's the Parthenon. Yeah. Okay. Who was the Parthenon dedicated to? Dedicated means I make something for you. So why did they make the Parthenon? Who was it for?
Athena.
Very good. Pericles helped turn Athens into one of the greatest cities in the world. What are some things that visitors to Athens would have seen and heard during those years? What would they have seen?
They seen that that's the greatest city in the world.
Okay, beautiful buildings, the Parthenons, and other temples.
Wonderful plays.
Beautiful statues and potteries, new ideas.
Wow, they still have democracy?
Oh, you were right. You did. Okay, he did believe in democracy, so I was wrong. You were right. You were right, Zena. It is democracy. I thought you said rebuilding is good enough. It's good, but you were right when you said democracy.
In the story, I thought she said he believed in democracy.
Yes, he did. So one thing you have to do with when you're doing these kinds of homeschooling, you have to make sure your children or your child is paying attention. Okay?
Wow.
Okay. Point to the Parthenon. Point to it. Okay. Use the mouse to point to it. Okay, very good. And let's look at the answer. I just want to see what they're going to do. In the bottom right corner. I thought they were going to show a picture. Okay. That was easy enough. Okay, these are the materials. So these are the extra activities you can do. Written narration. Okay, remind your students that Pericles was a leader of Athens who believed in democracy and helped turn Athens into one of the greatest cities in the ancient world. Okay. So you just write his name here, right? Pericles, leader of Athens. Although the Greeks won the long war with Persia, Athens had been destroyed. Houses, schools, shops, even their beloved temple to Athena atop the Acropolis was gone. But Pericles rallied the citizens of Athens, and after 30 years, the city had been rebuilt. Right?
Yes.
So I'm going to... They then built the Parthenon, the greatest building ever constructed in Greece. Have your student complete and color the Parthenon sheet. Okay, so this is temple is dedicated to who?
Dedicated to Athena.
Right, so you would write Athena there. Oops. Okay, so I think we're finished right now. They're going to have beyond the lesson, and we do an assessment. So, Zena, let's see if you can remember. Actually, you did better than me because you got it right. I was the one that was wrong. Okay, so close your eyes. What was the name of the leader who helped rebuild Athens after the war with Persia? What was his name?
Pericles.
Very good. All right. What did Pericles believe in?
Democracy.
Very good. Okay, you got to open your eyes for this one. Point to the Parthenon. You click it. Very good. Okay. Who was the Parthenon dedicated to?
Athena.
Very good. Her eyes are really closed, folks. Okay, so I think this is the end of the lesson, and I hope you like this lesson. And just to, as a reminder, like when you homeschooling is quite challenging because your child has to be able to pay attention, because some of the stuff might not be what your child is interested in, or it might be boring, but in the end, it helps the child out a lot. Just don't give up. Don't lose hope. Just keep teaching, and your child will learn. Okay, I've done it with Zena. She's like any other 7 and 8 year old kid who they want to play, they want to jump around. Sometimes they can't keep still, and one of those reasons is why it's because my room is not the greatest place to have a class, but it has a lot of light, so this is why I like it. There's too many distractions. That's one thing that you should have when you don't. When you're not doing that, just don't have any distractions when you're doing homeschooling. So, thank you, and thanks for. I hope you subscribe, and please subscribe and like. Goodbye. Say goodbye, Zena.
Bye.